turn it off. You can't bring that in the building.
Oh,
no.
Hey.
Whoa, nothing.
No.
You can't bring that in the building. You're actually committing a felony right now.
We're not in a courtroom.
Yes, you are. Any faster.
Get your hands off of me.
I'm not going to tell you again.
Get your hands off of me.
Out.
Get your hands off of me. It specifically says in courtrooms. In courtrooms. Do you understand what that means?
No. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Like I said, just don't put it so close.
Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't. No, you don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Get in my personal space. You
Don't
understand
touch
that?
me.
You understand that?
You're looking for a reason to violate my rights, and I'm going to hold you accountable. I think you could just put your hands on anybody. If you didn't have that uniform on, you wouldn't have put your hands on me, and you know it. Hey, what's up guys? Long Island Audit here, back again with another video. Today we're at the city courthouse here in Kenner, Louisiana. We're here today, as always, to peacefully exercise our First Amendment right to film in public and publicly accessible areas, to promote transparency and accountability within our government, and to ensure that our public servants recognize our rights and treat us with respect. Let's get into it. All right guys, so we're just getting inside the courtroom here. Hey, how are you? All right, so this is the hallway in the courthouse over here. We have some offices over here.
Turn it off. You can't bring that in the building.
Oh,
no.
Hey.
Whoa, nothing.
No.
You can't bring that in the building. You got to go take it back out.
What do you mean?
Just what I said.
Why
you can't
can't I?
have any record. You're actually committing a felony right now.
How am I committing a felony?
Because you cannot film in a courtroom.
I'm not in a court. Am I in a court? Are we in a courtroom?
Yes, you are. Yeah,
we're not.
part of this court. No,
We're not in a courtroom.
I'm not going to
argue. We're not in a courtroom.
Yes, you are. Any faster.
Get your hands off of me.
I'm not going to tell you again.
Get your hands off of me.
Out.
Get your hands off of me.
Out.
This is considered a courtroom.
Yeah, you can't.
How is this considered the courtroom?
No,
I'm going out.
I'm filming here. I'm not. Yeah, you can't.
You need to get your hands off of
No,
me.
I'm
I want to speak to your
I'm
supervisor.
escorting you out. Out.
You get escorted
Out
out.
the room. Yeah.
Step out. You cannot bring anything in this courtroom.
Where's the law that says that?
I'll show you. Step out of the building.
I'm
Go
out of
get
the building.
Step out of the building.
I'm out of the building.
Let me go get the sheet for you.
Can I get the law?
Yeah.
I want to see the law. What's your name and badge number?
Well, let's see. We got it posted.
It specifically
If
says.
you read this.
Look. No, you look. Look over here. Look. In courtrooms.
Yeah.
It specifically says in courtrooms. In
whole
courtrooms.
area.
Do you understand what that means?
No. Do you
in
understand what I'm telling
courtrooms?
you? Do you
No.
understand
Are you
what
a
I'm
law
telling
enforcement officer?
Yeah. Excuse
Can
me?
I get your name and badge number?
You can look it up.
What does that mean?
2, 3,
Is that
2, 1.
professional?
Yeah.
Is that
No,
you can look it up?
We're going to show you what I'm telling you about. Okay.
It says in courtrooms. Where do you get off just putting your hands on people
no,
like
I'm trying to
that?
escort you out because I don't want
There
you
you
to
go. You
go.
can have this guy.
There you go. There you go.
In courtrooms. In courtrooms. Why can't I want to speak to? I want to speak to a supervisor.
I am.
All right.
This explains the whole anything involving the court in this building. It's written in this law for you.
This is not a law.
No, Supreme Court rule.
Yeah, it's a Supreme Court rule.
But it's still not a law. It's a policy. It says here.
Right, Supreme Court
They
ruling.
control all courts. I'm trying to tell you when you're in there. You can't film.
In courtrooms.
No.
Yes, and
If you
anything
read
adjacent when
anything
court's
adjacent
going
to
on.
it.
Court is going on right now.
Where does it say adjacent to courtrooms? Show me in here specifically. You're the one that's enforcing this rule or policy, so I want to have it clear. What part of this am I in
That
violation?
ain't the Supreme Court.
Photographs, courtroom, or any facility designated a courtroom under circumstances.
Yeah.
It's not stated.
I'm not in a courtroom.
This is it. You can have a copy of it.
But I'm not in a courtroom.
That's it. We
I
gotta go
passed
back
it.
to
You can go to the Supreme
Yep.
Court and look it up.
So what would I be arrested for then? If I go in here and
Not
exercise
listening.
my
Come
rights?
on.
Not
You're
listening.
not taking that in here. I'm not going to tell you again.
But what-
Get
Step out
your
of the
foot.
doorway.
I'm trying to get in and access services. Wow. They handed me a paper that says nothing to do with, that has nothing to do with filming inside of the courtroom. It says right here, City of Kenner, Office of the Clerk of Court, in courtrooms. And this is just a policy by the Chief Magistrate.
Here you go.
What's
There's a
this?
copy of the other one.
That's the state copy of it.
You assaulted me, you understand that, right?
I didn't insult you.
You didn't assault me?
No.
I would like to
I
file...
escorted you out the building, that's all.
Supervisor, I'd like to file a complaint against this
500
man.
vets.
500 vets.
Yep.
Wow, really professional. Really professional. They're just making themselves look like complete and utter tyrants. The law doesn't apply to them, apparently. We the people, we're going to hold them accountable, though. I promise you. We will do everything we can. Completely ridiculous. Who do you call when law enforcement is acting like complete thugs and violating your constitutional rights? That's the problem we have here, the accountability, ladies and gentlemen. I had my rights violated. They're denying me access to a building, a public building here, and I was assaulted in the process. I would like a unit to respond, please. Preferably a supervisor. All right, guys, so we're gonna wait out front here of the Rivertown Exhibition Hall Mayor's Court here in Kenner, Louisiana. We originally tried to call the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, but they referred me to the Kenner Police Department. As you can see right here, those tyrants inside are from the Kenner Police Department, so I'm not having much hope here. Something tells me they're not going to do anything, because as we've seen time and time again, ladies and gentlemen, is that law enforcement is sadly above the law. No one in this country or anywhere should be above the law. How you doing, officer? I'm the one that called you guys. So can I talk to you? Okay, great. Yeah, they've locked access from the public entering in to a public building. You see that? Look, I called law enforcement because I was assaulted and my rights were violated. And he immediately goes to speak with his brothers inside, other law enforcement officers, instead of speaking to me, the person who called. That's the mentality. That is the mentality. I love exposing tyrants. I love it. How you doing today, sir?
Good, man. Let's go.
So is anybody going to speak to me, the person who called? No? Wow, what a bunch of clowns. Unprofessional. Unprofessional. Both of them just completely sidestepped me, wanted nothing to do with talking to me. Hey, how are you doing? Can I get your name and badge number, please, sir?
Brent Donovan. What you got? You got a complaint? What's the deal?
Yeah, can I get your name and badge number, please? Yeah, so I called you guys down here.
Okay.
I see that you spoke to them first, which isn't shocking to me at all. But
Do you need something, my man?
yeah, I do. I was actually yeah. What, you have something else to do more important than
Absolutely.
doing your job? I don't
You
understand.
have anything?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, go ahead. Make it
Yeah,
quick.
so sir, you're doing your job right now. There's no need to escalate the situation. Just
Okay, are you ready?
yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah. They said they already spoke with you. They didn't want you in there for whatever reason. They gave you some statutes.
You can't just they didn't give me any
That's fine.
statutes.
Anything
They
other
didn't
than
give me
you're
any.
More than welcome to go to the lockup and speak to you. You can make a complaint on somebody.
They
okay?
they
You
did
go?
listen.
All right, we're gonna
They
head out.
didn't.
Appreciate it. You have a good day.
This is you taking a complaint. This is you taking a complaint. So this is you taking a complaint from a concerned citizen.
Don't get too close to me, man. All right.
I'm not even nowhere near you.
Okay. Like I said, just don't put it so close.
Hey,
to
don't touch me. Don't touch
Listen to
me.
Don't
Don't.
touch me.
No, you don't touch me. Don't touch
Don't get
me.
in my personal space. You
Don't
understand
touch
that?
me.
You understand that?
You're looking for a reason to violate my rights, and I'm going to hold you accountable.
That's fine. You have a great day, okay?
What's up with you? What's up with law enforcement over here in Kenner? Huh? You like putting your hands on people? You like going hands on, right? That's what the officers inside did. I was assaulted. You're not going to do anything about it, right? No, because, yeah, exactly, no. Why? Because you just assaulted me too. It's common practice here in Kenner, right?
Right.
Think you could just put your hands on anybody? If you didn't have that uniform on, you wouldn't have put your hands on me, and you know it. But because you got that badge and that gun on, you want to be tough to the person that you're supposed to serve.
All right, man. You have a great day, okay?
Yeah. You have the day you deserve, Tyrant. Completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Wouldn't even take a complaint. Completely ridiculous. Kenner Police, car 235. Wow. So we're going to be filing complaints on these two officers as well as the officers inside. All right, guys, we have just arrived at the Kenner Police Complex here in Kenner, Louisiana. Let's go inside and file our formal complaints against the officers involved in violating our constitutional rights. Hello. Hi, I would like to speak to a supervisor regarding a complaint.
Okay, what type of complaint?
A complaint against officers.
Okay, go ahead and have a seat. What's your name?
My first name is Sean, S-E-A-N.
All right, go ahead and have a seat.
All right, thank you. Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
I'm Detective Gallagher.
Detective Gallagher?
Internal Affairs. You want to come over here?
Sure. That's fine. So, Detective, I'm just here today. I wanted to file a complaint against a few of your officers.
Okay.
I'm an independent journalist. I travel around the country and promote transparency and accountability within government. I was exercising my First Amendment right at the mayor's court in Kenner.
Okay.
And I was physically removed from the building. No de-escalation techniques were used at all. Just immediately went hands-on with me and physically removed me from the building and then locked me out of the building so I couldn't access that public building. They were saying that there was some sort of policy against recording in the courtrooms.
Okay.
They handed me some policies that did state you cannot record in courtrooms. Signed policies, not laws, but signed by judges, so probably judges' orders. But I was never in a courtroom, and I was in the publicly accessible areas.
Okay.
Then they came out and handed me again another Louisiana State Supreme Court ruling, that's a policy against judicial conduct that stated that you cannot record adjacent to an active courtroom. So I wasn't anywhere near a courtroom. I was in the courthouse, yes, I would agree with that. I was in the publicly accessible lobby areas. I was going to actually speak to the clerk to pull some files. Again, it's about transparency and accountability in government. And like I said, they didn't want to hear any of it. I tried to explain to them when I was there, to my purpose there. They didn't want to hear it. They grabbed me and immediately pushed me out of the building. I then called for, because I wasn't aware at that time that they were Kenner police officers. I was aware that they were police officers, but I tried to call the Jefferson County Parish, the sheriff, Jefferson Parish sheriffs, and they directed me to Kenner. 2 officers came out, so I called and I said, hey, listen, my rights are being violated. I was assaulted. You know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Under the statute in Louisiana, I was assaulted. So 2 officers came out. I tried to greet them cordially when they arrived on the scene. They didn't want anything to do with me. They just, even though I called for them to respond.
Was that the Jefferson Parish or the Kenner?
This was the Kenner.
Okay.
So they responded. They didn't even acknowledge me. They just went inside, spoke to their partners, I guess. They spoke to their coworkers and came out and said, what do you want? Like, what are you doing here? And I was like, well, I was just exercising my rights. Like, well, they told you can't go in there. You can't go in there. Public building or not, there's nothing I could do for you. So they wouldn't even listen to my complaint, didn't even take anything seriously, completely brushed me off. As I'm following them to their car, because I'm asking them questions, why are you leaving? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? The one officer, he grabbed my hand, he pushed my arm, saying to get out of his face. And I was probably the distance that we are now, a reasonable distance. But again, so my complaints are excessive force, violation of my rights. There was no need for that. It completely escalated both encounters. The encounter where law enforcement arrived and then the original encounter were completely overblown and I believe an excessive use of force for sure.
Okay, well, we'll definitely look into it. Did she give you?
Yes, she gave me a complaint form. I'm not done filling it out just yet.
Well, go ahead and fill this out for
Yeah.
me. Did you get any names or anything?
I have one officer didn't want to provide. He said I could look it up, but then he told me his badge number. Because every law enforcement officer I come in contact with, I usually ask them their name and badge number. You told me immediately, professional. But one of them said look it up, and then he ended up giving me up a number. So I'll put his number. I don't know his
So
name.
when did this happen?
Just now, probably about an hour ago.
Okay, and you were at the Kenner Courthouse?
Yeah.
Dan Williams?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and fill
Sure.
all this out for me.
Yeah.
Once it's completed, what is your name again?
My name's Sean
Sean, what's your last name, dear?
Reyes, Reyes.
Is it S-E-A-N?
Yes, ma'am.
And spell your last name again?
Reyes.
All right. And you reside right here in Kenner?
No, ma'am. I'm a New York resident.
New York resident?
I'm here traveling on business.
That's cool. All right. Go ahead and fill all that
Sure.
out for me. all your current information, okay?
Okay.
Give me all your current information, and I will definitely look into this.
All right, thank you, Detective.
All right,
All
you're
right, I
welcome.
appreciate it. So I can just hand it back to her when I'm finished?
Yep.
Okay, thank you,
And she'll
Detective.
let me know when you're done with it.
Okay, thank you,
Okay?
Detective. I
All
appreciate
right.
your time.
Thank you
so
Sean.
much.
Sorry that happened to you. And I will look into it.
All right,
okay?
thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys, so we're just getting out of the Kenner Police Complex here in Kenner, Louisiana. Wow. I came to Louisiana to follow up on the Baton Rouge City Hall incident that occurred last year, where I was assaulted by 2 constables, pushed down the stairs, rolled my ankle to the point where I had to seek medical attention. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it in the description below. Stay tuned for follow-up. We the people do not forget, and we will hold those responsible accountable. Now, this incident that we dealt with today, eerily similar, which speaks volumes about law enforcement here in the state of Louisiana. I couldn't believe it. As soon as I walked inside the courthouse in Kenner, I was immediately confronted by a law enforcement officer who told me I was committing a felony by exercising my constitutional rights. A felony, ladies and gentlemen. Completely insane. He escalated the encounter immediately. No de-escalation whatsoever. Immediately went hands-on, grabbing my camera, pushing me, grabbing me, followed by his sergeant. The supervisor did no better. He's complicit. Wouldn't have any rational conversation with me. Just provided me with policies. They are not policy enforcement. They are law enforcement. Policies about recording inside of a courtroom, which the video clearly shows I was never inside of a courtroom. I wasn't even immediately adjacent to a courtroom. So they're enforcing a policy that I'm not even in violation of. That policy is a violation of my constitutional rights. Our constitutional rights. Those officers' behavior were despicable. And then, when I call law enforcement, I understand how ironic that is, that I'm calling law enforcement on law enforcement, but all law enforcement officers should be held to the same standards as we the people. If they break the law, they need to be held accountable for their actions. Full stop. But when those officers came, they went to go talk to their brothers in blue before speaking to the victim of the crime, making sure they're getting their story straight, I would assume. Then, when they came out to speak to me, they didn't even want to. They were rushing me, saying, do you have anything to really tell us? You know, completely despicable behavior. If that's how they're treating me, while they know they're being recorded, how do you think they're treating the citizens here in Kenner? Horribly, I would assume. When I went to go film him as he's walking to his car to try and get him to do his job, which is take my complaint and uphold the law, he says I was in his face. I'm so sick and tired of people saying I'm in their face. I'm putting my camera in their face. I'm not putting my camera in anyone's face. That's not what's happening here. That is their narrative they're trying to push to make me seem like an agitator. I'm always at least a few feet away from any single person I'm coming in contact with, law enforcement or a regular citizen. Completely ridiculous. And then he goes and assaults me too, Officer Donovan. He assaults me, grabs my wrist, and then when I grab him back using a proportional force that he's using on me, which is my right, he says, oh, don't touch me. No, you don't touch me. You are the public servant. You are the law enforcement officer breaking the law because you believe yourself to be above the law. Despicable. Shout out to the detective who took my complaint. She was very professional, identified herself immediately, apologized to me for going through what I went through, which I appreciate. Very professional. She's going to look into it. Stay tuned to the channel for further updates. Let me know what you think about this one in the comment section below. As always, stay safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Long Island Audit. Peace.